Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Billy chuckles as Sally slices and punches the cushions into shape. She's trying to make tonight great because she knows how important it is to him. He's confident that if things go wrong, it won't be because of fluffy pillows. He thanks her and kisses her before the doorbell rings. Billy invites the guests in. It's Jack, with Diane on his arm. They glance around and enjoy what Sally has done with the place. Billy attributes all of her success to her impeccable taste. Diane takes advantage of the occasion to remind her husband that it all comes down to trust. Jack reveals they are without a home, and his wife explains that they had to relocate into the club while the house was being updated. Diane teases that living in the lap of luxury is no great bother. Billy admits that Diane reached out and asked for his blessing on the redecoration, but had no idea it was so big until he drove by and saw the construction crews. This immediately sets Jack off worrying. Trying to assure him it seems like more than it is, Diane repeats it's only a remodel. In a bid to calm him further, Sally explains that when she was working in home decoration, she was always surprised by how large crews were required to do the smallest things. When she mentions demo crews, Diane begs her to stop before Jack has a heart attack. Diane tells her husband that if he doesn't like the remodel, they can turn it back into the old and dated museum that he loved before. Young and Restless, spoiler, just made it to the top of our Who Kidnapped Sharon and Phyllis suspect list. Billy's decision to change the subject relieves everyone. Here's why. He expresses gratitude to everyone for being present at this pivotal moment in his life. It feels like a new beginning, and he wants to thank his older brother for his trust and support. They have had disagreements throughout the years, but never because they did not love one another. He is confident that Jack loves and believes in him. This means everything. They toast to Jack and to Abbott Communications. Rising, Jack makes a toast. Even if his brother didn't feel it, he never stopped believing in him. He's always admired his determination and resilience after suffering more setbacks and disappointments than anyone he knows. Billy has always gone after what he wants with passion, creativity, and old-fashioned Abbott stubbornness. Jack is sure his latest project will be a great success due to his power to love and forgive. The brothers hug and Billy jokes that, after all that, he better not screw up. Downing the mood again, Diane asks if it's wise to have Phyllis be part of this. Billy claims she will be an asset and do all in her power to make it a success. Well, let's just hope this redemption tour is more successful than the last 100 or so, Diane snipes. Billy doesn't want to spend the evening defending his decision. Jack changes the topic to the launch, but this leads to his brother admitting that Phyllis left town to chase down some mysterious partnerships and she's been impossible to reach. Jack starts to look worried, and Diane makes it worse. Leaping up, Sally declares the food is ready and leads Billy into the kitchen. Jack encourages his wife to stop insulting Phyllis. Diane cautions him that his investment may be jeopardized by his ex. Did he realize she was involved when he agreed to pay the bill? He asks her to leave this until they get home. Sally and Billy bring in lunch, and Diane requests a tour from the redhead. After they leave, Jack apologizes for his wife. But Billy is unconcerned about Diane's feelings. Jack promises his brother that he will trust his intuition. However, Phyllis fleeing is concerning. Billy can hear that. Be careful. About his half-brother he needs to know. As she sits and sips her champagne, she explains she had Damien investigated after he pushed to meet with her. She wanted to know if there was more to the story than it seemed. Nate reminds her he never asked her to poke into his half-brother's past and wouldn't have. Devin is more concerned with what she found out. Pouring more champagne, Lily explains that Damien doesn't own the two companies he was purported to own. The real owner is a private company called Arabesque. Damien is a CEO of two companies, but they are owned by Aristotle Dumas. Devin has heard the name and explains that no one even knows what he looks like. Lily says he goes out of the way to keep his involvement quiet. She thinks that Damien lying about details like this is a big red flag and begs the question of what else he could be lying about. Nate wonders how Denise missed all this and asks how she found out. She tries to avoid answering directly but is prodded into admitting it was Victor. Nate's furious that that man is anywhere near his business, but his cousin assures him he's not involved. They argue about what this Dumas guy has to do with this. When Lily admits she's had a few meetings with Damien and that there's always been something strange about him, Nate repeats that he never asked her to get involved. She explains that Damien asked her out, and she agreed for Nate's sake because she thought she could help with the Amy situation. I was trying to break open this box of lies he's been telling you since he came to town, Lily insists. Her cousin says that's all irrelevant. This is only about Damien and Amy. If his half-brother learns he was being investigated, he might be angry and leave town without giving Amy another thought. Lily apologizes. Her cousin knows she meant well. He's grown to care about Amy, and she's given him insight into a man he lost when he was too young. Besides, good or bad, he and Damien are still brothers and connected. His cousins worry about him being hurt. Nate can't stop worrying that turning to Victor will come back to bite them and scare Damien off. He begs Lily to respect his boundaries and keep out of this. Nate apologizes if he's come down too hard, but they get it. He's trying to give his brother the benefit of the doubt and assumes there is a good reason behind all his mysteriousness. Devin offers any help they can give. Leave it alone, just leave it alone. I've got this, Nate requests. Amy and Damien are at a table in the dining room of the athletic club. She announces she's ready to give him all the answers he asks of her. Damien isn't even sure where to begin. He orders them a pot of chamomile tea, assuming that is still her favorite. His mom is touched, he remembered. Damien makes it clear that they are a long way from fixing things. She's relieved they can share a common memory and has no expectations of a quick fix. This is hard for both of them. It broke her heart to learn that he thought she didn't care about his father when he was dying. Amy can't stop thinking about how afraid and alone he felt. She took advantage, assuming that he could handle more than he could. He admits he was only taking his own feelings into account and is sorry for that. Tearing up, she thanks him for that and says that if they can mend even a little of their hurt, she will die happy. Once the tea arrives, she smells it and smiles, remembering his cat, Figaro. They hid the feline in the house so they could gently break the news to his dad that they had a pet. But as soon as Jackson met him, they were in love. After Jackson died, Figaro wouldn't leave his room. Damien misses that man too. Amy says that he was his father's world. They had an unbreakable bond from the moment they met. They recall the day he was born and how he nearly had to be delivered by the side of the road. His dad was there when he was born and was the first person to hold him. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe my YSR Media to our channel and stay with us.